Broker Daily Uncut.
Broker Daily Uncut.
News, views and opinion about what's shaping Australia's mortgage and finance industry.
G'day, how you going? Welcome to Broker Daily Uncut. Phil Tarrant, your co-host in the studio with Alex Whitlock for our weekly instalment of what's going on in broking. But today we have a special guest and we'll introduce him in a moment. Alex, how are you going?
Yeah, not too bad, Phil. Not too bad at all. Enjoyed the weekend. I understand that you indulged in rain all weekend. It's so funny because I'm sort of geographically not that far away from you, and it was kind of, it's a bit wet and a bit rainy, but you said you had a deluge all weekend.
Rain. But for some reason we get our own unique weather pattern where we're based.
And the funny thing is I just text my wife who's at home and I said, are you enjoying the sunshine? Because it's sunny here in North Sydney. She goes, what sunshine? With 2 question marks.
Yeah,
so anyway,
melting down rain.
There you go, probably.
Well, this is the way where it is somewhere is very different elsewhere, but lots going on. Jack not joining us today.
No, Jack's got stuff on.
He's got stuff on, but
does bring an opportunity to bring Michael in. I think it's probably the first time I've sat on a podcast with you, Michael, certainly for Broker Daily. But it's actually very opportune. And thinking back, Phil, it's now about a year since the rebrand, and people are going to probably be thinking, what rebrand? It feels like it's been Broker Daily forever, but it's been a really important journey for this brand. I do a podcast every week with Jason Back, which is specifically focusing in and around growth of broking, looking at specifically, not just mortgage broking, but finance broking as a whole, and how brokers can grow and develop and evolve their business. And I guess, for all of us, we've seen huge tech advances. This just doesn't apply just to broking, across everyone and every facet of what everyone does. And it's breathtaking to see the pace at which things are changing, new tools that are available to everybody to do a better job. I talk with Jason about it regularly on Business Accelerator, but look, one of the advantages of bringing Michael in is Michael and his team have launched Broker Innovation, which is really going to be harnessing a lot of the opportunities that are out there. I don't know why I'm talking about this, Michael. It's your
well, by
baby.
way of introduction for those people that may not know Michael's commercial director for mortgages at Momentum and has a number of different responsibilities connected with that. But over the last year, it's really been the custodian of the rapid growth the repositioning and then rapid growth of Broker Daily. And myself and Alex are very much armchair commentators around mortgages, but you live and breathe it, speaking with people right across the broking spectrum every single day. So I look forward to your insightful views, Michael.
Well, thanks.
And welcome.
Thank you for the warm introduction. Great to be here. But I pick up a lot of my knowledge base off your podcast. So I'd say you're very much still knee deep in broking. So look, we launched the summit last week, which is going to be a conference and awards program taking on place on 25th of June here in Sydney. I suppose to take a step back, the reason to launch the conference was because, as Alex said, the rate of change with technology and innovation in all industry, but in particular with broker, it's just that speed of change has massively increased. And the way we experience this is through press releases. So because everyone wants to tell you about their new, cool, innovative, launches around the new solutions which can help solve different problems with operationally or through client acquisition. And the number of those press releases have increased. So there's a lot of new players that emerge and come into the market. And for us, we were trying to make sense of, well, who does what and what problem does this solve? And we thought, well, if we're experiencing this, I'm pretty sure it's probably everyone out in the industry is feeling the same thing, especially brokers. So what we've done is created a one-day agenda which looks at what the next advancements are coming in broking, and what's currently here, which is important, and how to gear your business to be to make it, I suppose, future-proofed. So for whatever change are coming across lots of different tech disciplines, including AI. So
I think there's an overwhelming deluge of tech advances, and I think for everybody, but for brokers in particular, I talk with Jason about this every week. Actually, cherry picking the things that are going to make a relevant impact on your business, it can be very, very hard when there is idea and an opportunity and advancement coming your way. So, broker innovation is really with us being the custodians, and you for many, many years, Michael, of providing educational and focused business content. This is really going to be harnessing and capturing the most important areas for brokers to focus on.
Yeah, exactly, Alex. And I think the big thing is that for a lot of brokers, either where to start or how to keep moving forward. So, and that's what this event is. It's a lens that brings all this noise right into focus to help you, as you said, select the right tools to solve the problems that you're experiencing in your business or to enhance them. What we have some really big name speakers coming as well to the event. So we've got the major keynote, Silvio Giorgio from REA Group, so their head of data. And look, I can't give away too much because it's wet to beak, but he's going to be talking about where AI's come from, where we are now, and how it's evolving. And that last piece is really fascinating. It's really eye opening. It will look at the customer journey about where customers are going to transact, orientate digitally, where they're going to peruse, advisors, helping them kind of inform which is going to be the best partner when broking for their home loan decisions. So, and then I suppose the next session will be, we're bringing over a speaker from the US, Todd Duncan.
Oh, no, Todd. Yeah. So Todd was a speaker at our San Fran conference over there many years ago.
That's right.
Yeah, he's world class.
I actually spoke with him the other day on this podcast actually, and he's always good catch. He goes very sort of, you sort of go into a meeting with him and you might sort of be going, I'm sick of stuff and whatnot. You catch up with him for 10 minutes, you're completely rejuvenated and recharged, and you think the world's the right place to be.
Yeah, look, he's one of the best speakers I've seen. He spoke about Better Business 6 years ago.
He is one of the best speakers, but he was an absolute leading broker in the States before he went into speaking. So this guy isn't just, somebody who's made a few bucks out of speaking. He was exemplary.
I think he's a top 5 broker in America.
In America. That's a big market.
Yeah. And then when I caught up with him, no doubt, I don't want to steal his thunder for the session he'll do, but the amount of, and he's very much around high trust, and I think that's going to be the key thrust.
He's the architect.
Obviously, he's the architect of high trust. He generated most of his business as one of the top brokers in America, and the number is phone book mind-boggling sort of number of loans written through referrals. It's just referral-based business and referrals based on trust, and trust being the driver of business growth. So I think he'll be an excellent speaker, which is good. And I know Michael, pigeon-paired with the Broker Innovation Summit is your awards program. I want to ask you about that. We'll just go to a quick break. Stay with us, back in a moment. Welcome back, Phil Tarrant, co-host of Broker Daily, and we'll be back next week with a whole bunch of insights, interpretation about what's happening on the news front. But Michael, the Broker Innovation Summit on the daytime on the 25th of June, to be followed by the Broker Innovation Award, which is, from what I understand, an extension out from an existing awards program in Broker Daily. But what I would say, and I've just looked through, maybe you can give some sense to this, the website here for Broker Innovation Summit and Broker Innovation Awards, all you need to do is go and Google it. I'm struggling to find the word mortgage, and maybe I'm a bit sort of old fashioned. I still sort of in the back of my head think of this thing of mortgage broking, but it is broking. And I'm looking at the categories for the awards program, and it doesn't mention the word mortgage once in it. It's all about broking and innovation, which gives a sense, I guess, for the shifting sands of the sector and the industry and how it all works.
I'll just jump in. One of the things I love so much about this program that Michael has brought to the fore is, if I had an award that I was marketing on my website, I would, to have something for innovation would be very valuable to me in whatever shape or form it was. Because at the end of the day, I think with now there being, that 75% of all loans go through a broker. If you are recognized as an innovator in a very crowded marketplace, I think it's an extremely valuable accolade to have, Michael.
Yeah, and look, I think the response to the awards program highlighted how many brokers, how many aggregators, some of the larger groups and lenders are already, implementing these innovative practices, because our judges were put through the ringer because we had so many submissions. We had, for one category, over 80 submissions. So there's obviously a big movement, a wave of, innovative practices in our industry. And I think the timing's right to put this awards on. I think we've got it spot on.
What I would say is that innovation, some people only look through it via one lens, and that is technology. But innovation largely is utility and the utility of change and shaping change in your organization by doing things differently. That doesn't necessarily mean you need an app doing it, right? It can be innovative in thought, innovative in process, innovation in procedure, innovation in product. It doesn't necessarily need to be an app, but that's how it's sort of captured these days, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, we geared the program to just the broker submitting would have to address 4 questions: innovation in customer service, operational efficiency, and growth. So they were kind of the 3 metrics that we measured them on.
And it's been receptive, sort of, across the whole spectrum of the industry.
Well, all the way across lender, aggregator, broker. It's been.
Can you still submit, or is it?
No,
closed?
submissions are closed. But
Okay.
we had huge submissions for this program.
So you're announcing finalists soon, are you?
Yeah, we will be in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, and then what happens after that? Just get sort of functional for a bit. People can buy tickets. And
Exactly.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. Okay. So it's about 6 weeks away, so plenty of time for everyone to do that. I'm just looking at here how you've broken down the awards. You've broken into broker tech, brokerage and aggregation, and then lender. So you've got Innovator of the Year for major bank, mutual bank, non-bank, non-major bank, and service provider.
Yeah. Well, look,
so you
it's
pretty much cover the whole thing.
it's the only awards program that recognises the whole ecosystem.
So that's just not
solely
resi, that's
underbuilt by
everything, right?
Everything. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of so I know Broker Daily is very much orientated towards commercial brokerage and aggregation. You've got boutique, large, aggregator, major. That makes a lot of sense. So there's only 3 broker tech awards. So this is the actual technology itself, which probably supports and shapes the change a lot of brokers are sort of facing at the moment, or
Exactly.
trying to
There's
master
different
through their
service
business.
providers which are supporting with the different functionality in their business, be it again acquisition, operational efficiency, or
okay.
retention.
No, mate, I look forward to going to the program. I think the construct of it it's smart. What was the catalyst of the innovation of it? Like, why did you say, hey, hang on a second, let's take a leadership position on this and fly the flag for innovation in mortgages? Like, innovation isn't a new concept or term. Is it because of the confusion, or is it are brokers really sort of challenged by it? They don't know which direction to take their organizations?
Well, I think if you look across every industry that we serve news, market insights, and reporting info, it's the same. It's all these intermediary audiences are all challenged with because it's just again the rate of new micro businesses, larger businesses emerging, to support new technological advancements, how to engage customers, how to run their business. It's just that pace of change is so fast. So again, it's just down to timing,
So I want to ask you about that, just get a wider sense for what's happening in broking. But I'll go to another break. Stay with us back in a minute. Welcome back, Phil, Tara, and Alex. We'd like having a chat with the commercial director for Mortgages Momentum Media, good colleague, close colleague of ours, Michael Magee. Now, Michael, you sort of spoke about, supporting and embracing, or flying a flag for change and innovation for mortgages, but at a more holistic level, I know you deal with lenders and aggregators on a daily basis, technology providers right across the mortgage industry. Well, what's we're looking down the barrel of more interest rate cuts. You've got now huge dominance of brokers as market share, but we've gone through probably a period of 2.5 years where I would say the industry's been soft in terms of there's been very little sort of announcements with product. It's been steady as she go, business as usual, not a lot to see here.
Mm.
Are things changing? Can you smell change in the winds with maybe an accelerated speed to product innovation, for example, from the lenders as they look to capitalize on maybe changes to interest rates?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Phil. And I actually probably echo a point from one of Alex did a podcast with Jason in Business Accelerator, and he made a very good point, which is one of the reasons we're looking at this. That the primary reason why what brokers do, helping connect a borrower with the right lender, that fundamentally doesn't change. The speed to which they can do that is what will change with new technology, AI, digitization. The speed to which they can package a loan, that can change as well. How they interact with new clientele, especially Gen Z, for example, who prefer short form video content. You've got groups that are building avatars to engage them now, which the fidelity around that's probably not that high yet because the technology hasn't advanced that much. But even just sort of client engagement surface level, then that's we could run an event on 3 days just talking about that component alone. So there's by building this event, what we've tried to do is create a 6-hour program that will leave you with enough to be able to walk away and actually implement, pick and choose which are the right piece of tech functionality for your business, and also keeping an eye on how do I change my mindset towards, reviewing this every 6 months, because that's how quick everything is changing. Like what you do today might be relevant 6 months. How where clients engage with certain content on TikTok or what, that could change. It might be a new platform. So it's keeping abreast of that. So we delve into all that at the event as well. We'll also look at very localized tech. So there's technology, I was talking about avatars. That applies to any business, like any, planner, broker, accountant can use that for, client acquisition. But then there's very bespoke technology that only exists in broker for brokers. So we'll unpack all that and we'll go through that from A to Z around which will be the right kind of new solutions, APIs and apps for you.
Yeah, and chatting with your stakeholder base, and that would be your advertisers and sponsors across Broker Daily and your event programs. How are they sort of navigating this world of change? Obviously, they want to be in front of brokers to present new ideas and new products and new ways of doing things. Are they finding brokers are more receptive today for new ideas and maybe what they were sort of 5 years ago? Is there an openness of willingness of change, or the immediacy of brokers actually knowing, like, got to do something different?
Oh, look, I think you've got from since we've been around since 2000, you've got brokers that have moved on. You've got a new influx of people coming in. Now, they're not necessarily young people, though. I see a lot of young people coming into this industry, which is welcome, and other people who've had other sort of experiences elsewhere. But innovation is driving broking, and innovation is at the heart of most of the people that are now coming into the industry. And there are still people in the industry that do things the old-fashioned way, but it's getting significantly harder to do things the way that things have been done over the last few decades. And it doesn't matter whether it's broking or what area of business you're in. And this is why I love the position that Michael has given this, because innovation is perpetual. This is not about technology. Technology can kind of come in waves, and you can get a bit, kind of fatigued with technology. Innovation is perpetual for forward thinking and those that are at the bleeding edge of their industry. And in my experience in broking, there's always been a hunger for innovation in mortgage and finance broking. So we'll, I think both the combination of recognition through awards, and if I was going to get an award for innovation, it's been something that I would be very proud of. And indeed, Phil, we've got, for Momentum, we have one of our awards is one of the most innovative countries. Cut that. One of our awards is one of the most innovative companies in Australia, awarded by the AFR. And that's something that's, of all the awards that we've ever had, that award for innovation has been very important to us. And I think to be able to give brokers and product providers and anybody in that third-party ecosystem an award for innovation and to perpetually do that year after year, I think is very valuable.
Can I just add something to that, Phil? So yeah. I think this event, like what creates the right product market fit. It'll only bring brokers and partners together who are only interested in finding out about this stuff and those who want to put their stall out. So it's the perfect environment for our partners to connect with those brokers.
And you see, I think you've got continuity there with your principal partner for the Broker Innovation Awards is Resimac. Resimac, obviously, an organisation that likes to put itself or connect itself in with innovation and. NextGen, your principal partner for the Broker Innovation Summit, NextGen's been a pioneer of shaping change, technical change in broking for a long time. So it doesn't surprise me to see brands like that connect themselves with innovation.
No, 100%. And look, and you can even see with NextGen where they want to go, and supporting brokers and their clients. And, obviously they acquired Frollo quite a few years ago. Interesting.
What's Frollo?
Frollo it's basically their open banking solution. Okay. So they've got it baked into some of the aggregator partnerships that have Financial Passport. So brokers can use that if the client allows you to access their banking information or at a limited level or more kind of like a more in-depth access. They can basically summarize all your expenses all neat in one place to help you kind of submit your loan quicker. So it's a pretty cool piece of tech. I downloaded their app. They have a budgeting version of their app. I downloaded that a few months ago.
Do you use it yourself too?
I do use it, because you get limited. In some of the banking apps, they'll only show you certain, but this connects all your cards, everything else. So it's it's a cool piece of kit, and it's actually free as well to download.
Free is good. Nice one. Well, thanks, Michael, for coming in, giving us a sense for what's happening there.
Just to recap, what are the key dates?
The 25th of June is at the Telstra building in Sydney.
And how do people get tickets for either the conference or the awards?
Just go check out Broker Innovation Summit.
Okay.
Just Google that and go on to Broker Daily, and you'll find Broker Innovation. It'll be marketed everywhere.
I just looked at there, and I just clicked there's an events tab. You click it there, and it tells you all about it. You can visit the website, and importantly, buy your tickets. I imagine it's at the Four Seasons, the awards, and I know that venue pretty well. And it'll fill up pretty quickly. So I would recommend probably getting in there pretty sharp.
Can I leave with a summary of the agenda? Because I honestly think it's one of the best agendas we put together. So just going back to the very start, Major Keynote opened the day with a big introduction of AI, where it's going to and how you can harness it. Leads beautifully into kind of the localized technologies that you can integrate into your business. Then there's a really high level session. And I think this will appeal to brokers who are already embracing AI, but we're looking at agentic AI, so how to build AI agents and how they can replace certain functionality, so to speed up your interaction with clients, to increase your retention, and then just to make the application process more smoother and faster. We'll look at what's happening overseas. So Todd Duncan, as you said earlier, he's works very closely with the best brokers and agents in the US. So some of the stuff they're up to, it's just nuts. So we're going to unpack that and what that means for Australian brokers in the future. And then it's all summarized off with someone that helps you get right into that mindset to help you, embrace technology and, importantly, how to apply that to your business easily.
And I know Todd's in town not only for the Broker Innovation Summit, but I know he's in town for a little while as well. And when I spoke to him, he mentioned to me that, and for those of you that don't know Todd or not aware of Todd, he was pretty central to the early days of Aussie and helping to stand up their training and education arm. And we all know that Aussie is still well known and regarded as the home of some of the best and brightest people in the broking industry. So I know he's in town for a little while. So if you want to get connected in with Todd, or you want to catch him and maybe find some time to spend with him and your team, I know he's open and he's available to that. The best way to do that is probably through you, I reckon, Michael.
So you can contact me at michael.magee, M-A-G-E-E, at momentummedia.com.au.
Yeah, he's free and available, so get in touch with him and, trade off some of his experience, because I spent an hour with him a couple of weeks ago. It was very, very inspirational. So thank you, gentlemen. It's good to see you both here. Michael, thanks for joining us. I look forward. I'm going to actually head down to the Broker Innovation Summit, learn a lot. I'm big on AI. I use it a lot myself these days. In the right ways, but there's always a new way for doing stuff. So thanks for tuning in. Remember to check out brokerdaily.au. We'll be back next week with more news, interpretation about what's going on as we anxiously await what happens with the next interest rate decision. Lots to talk about. We'll see you again next time. Until then, bye-bye.
The information featured in this podcast is general in nature and does not take into consideration your financial situation or individual needs and should not be relied upon. Before making any investment, insurance, tax, property or financial planning decision, you should consult a licensed professional who can advise whether your decision is appropriate for you. Guests appearing on this podcast may have a commercial relationship with the companies mentioned.